Hi everybody, and welcome to Working Horses with Jim. Today we have a kind of a new setup for us. We're going to be running a three horses with a 3-horse evener, and we have two of our Suffolk punch geldings. We have Baron on the left, Earl on the right. Baron's 4 and Earl is 3, and then our older horse Percheron Ken is in the center. And I'll explain a few things as we're going along. Earlier today, we actually worked Baron and Ken, and that's actually on a video, our last video, I think. So if you're interested, you could go back to that. I talk about how, what makes a great horseman. And so that might be an interesting video that you might want to check out. So anyways, let me show you a few things. So we have a 3-horse evener here on this cart. The cart has a tongue on it, brand new tongue, because we just had to make it because we couldn't find the old one. I think I might have broke it last fall. So that's just an ash tree actually that we cut out in the pasture. And so we hewed that down a little bit so it would slide in that pipe. It goes back to the length of that pipe. So it goes all the way through and stops at that block. So it can't go back any farther. The neck yoke is bolted on, as you can see, and that's what holds it from coming out of the. Holds the neck yoke is for to back anything up, if you wanted to back something up, but also if you want to hold things back. It also kind of ties everything together. So we use a D-ring harness, which I've talked about before, and the advantages of a D-ring harness in this particular setup is very little. It's not a huge benefit, but because of the D-ring harness, or partly because of the D-ring harnesses and the 3-piece neck yoke, everything is probably a little bit tighter than it would be on the other type of harnesses. Anyways, we put the tongue on, and that's offset, as you can see, and now we have a 3-horse evener, what I call a 3-horse evener. This is kind of the evener part of the 3-horse evener, but then you have a double tree or just a regular evener, and this is the double tree part, and these are the single trees. And then over here, the 3rd horse is just on a single tree that goes to the 3-horse evener. And as you can see, there's a few chain links in here to keep it all spaced properly. So we have the spring tooth here behind, and a few videos ago I actually showed dragging this driveway. Since then we have had a bunch of rain and wet weather, and so it's actually got all wet again, and even right now it's still quite wet. It was drier last time we did this actually, and we're going to go a couple times around this driveway, and then we're going to go out into the field and see if maybe we can do a little bit of harrowing in the field. The purpose of this whole thing is not really to do our field work, although that's just an added plus if we can do it. The purpose of this is to get mostly Earl used to working as on a 3-horse team. One other thing I need to show you, that when you have a 3-horse team, your lines are set up differently than you do if you have a team or 2 horses. So let me just show you that. You do just have 2 lines coming back from the horses, but Ken's team lines are still sitting right here, hanging right here, and they're not being used. So to make this all work, we have the lines from Baron, goes to his outside bit, and then crosses over to Ken's bit. Just the opposite for Earl. He has his outside bit, and then the other line from his setup comes to Ken. So Ken I have complete control over Ken with a bit, with a line on each bit, each side of the bridle. But for the other 2 horses on the outside, they don't have a line. I'm not driving the outside horses with a line on each bit. What they have is a short strap that goes from the bit to Ken's hame. If you get your head over there, Baron, we could show this better. So this is what holds him from going too fast. There are other ways to do a 3-horse eveners, 3 horses, and I've done it both ways. But this is just the simplest way by far, and so this is usually what I do. But anyways, I'm going to unhitch Earl, and I'm going to get out into the section here and do a little dragging, and then we're going to try the field. One kind of big advantage of having this setup is when you want to stop or rest for any reason. If your center horse is quite dependable and stands, these other outside horses are tied to him, so they can't go anywhere because that short strap will stop them from going anywhere. So let's head out. Step back. So today we sent our second load of lumber up to our markets, and so our pile of pine logs is actually dwindling quite fast. It's not, I do have some over off to our right, Brenda. There is a bunch more there. Those are the 14 footers, and I've been just sawing 16s for this order, and so that's why I'm sorting them out like that. But still, we've gone through quite a few logs already. Catch that. Man. Ave. Ave. Oh, Brenda, can you grab my whip over there on the sled? So Brenda just grabbed my whip. With Baron, he's done a lot of working, and with Ken, and they know their command's good. They're good hard workers. Earl has been very good at working what little I've used him, but still he might possibly need a little persuasion today in this situation, so I just ready to be prepared and have my whip just in case. Also, the starting, he's going to be a little bit slower starting sometimes than the others. I cuffs that. Careful. Oh. Jump on, Brendan, and tell me your thoughts.
They're doing good, but it's hard enough just to walk.
It is.
Let alone pull something behind.
It's not really ideal weather or conditions to be dragging this field. There's no doubt about it. It's hard.
It's sticky.
Yeah. So, but that's really not the only reason we're doing this. Actually, it's not even the most important reason we're doing this. The most important reason we're doing this is to get horses working together, and they've got a lot of work to do as a 3-horse team this spring, because they'll do a fair amount of dragging like this, but the plowing is basically all done with 3 horses, so there'll be a big combination of different horses out plowing this spring. We did a lot of plowing in the fall, but we still want to do quite a lot more plowing this spring. Your hand's all dirty.
And that's because I get splattered. I probably got stuff all over my face too, because I felt something hit my face.
I catched up. So as we're going down through this field, it's nice to at least somewhat get something done other than just exercising this time of year. I think as we come to the end of the field, instead of continuing in this field, I'm going to turn and go down to my other plowed ground, which was tiled, and see if there's any difference. Ah, man. It's wet. Too wet, that's for sure. What I'm trying to get is 3 horses that just lug. And that's what they're doing.
Yep,
even Earl.
Oh, Barry's getting a little steppy, but Earl's doing great.
He's a tank.
He's just kind of like a beast, you know?
It is.
He really is.
You can see even in the ground that they're sinking in. I mean, it's really way too wet to even be out here. But this was not tiled, so let's go up into the tiled ground and see if there's a difference. I'll be surprised if there's much of a difference.
Yeah, it looks wet just by looking, but we're not there yet.
Yeah, but let's just take one pass up through. Come back through the sod ground if it's too wet.
Which side are you going up? The outside or the inside?
I don't know.
Because I go alongside you instead of...
Oh, well, I won't go. You can stay in the sod. High step. Ah, man. Okay. Oh. Okay. Don't want to go in there. This is a very wet field. We've always had this as a very wet field. That's why we tiled it. I actually do see a difference, even as wet and deep as that mud is right there. I do feel it's a tiny little bit better than it would have been if it weren't tiled. So we'll have to see what happens. But as you can see up ahead here, in our sod ground that has not been tiled yet, there's water sitting there. So
Didn't you say down below you can see a place?
There's a spot down below that was always water sitting right on the ground, and there's no water sitting on the ground there now. So I have no doubt with the amount of water that's going through our tile system that it's helping out a lot. Will it be as good as I would like it to be? I don't know, but time will tell on that. And I've been told it takes a few years for the tile to really work good, to, you know, for those veins through the soil to be made from the water to drain. So anyways, this is a great workout for these guys. I'm gonna go across the sod ground here and head them home, maybe go around the field one more time, we'll see. All right, cast up. Cast up. It looks kind of funny right here. We can hardly see Earl on the other side of Ken. Ken is so big and tall, and Earl just isn't, but he actually weighs as much or more than Baron does. But anyways, my goal with these 3 horses is to, or with this 3-horse hitch, is to get all of them working together good. So my next time I hitch them up, or one of the next times I hitch them up, I will put Duke in Earl's place, and then after that I want to put Duke and Earl with Ken, and then eventually I will put Duke, Earl, and Baron together, so we'd have all 3 of the Suffolks in one 3-horse hitch. So we have a lot of plowing to do and other field work to do, so they'll get a lot of time working this way, and so hopefully they can turn into quite a bunch of horses. After we get our crop work all done, we should be in good shape. Careful.
So here goes a greenhouse to a new home. We surely hope that they enjoy the greenhouse as much as I am enjoying ours. Hey everyone, it's a windy March day and Jim's out spreading manure with Baron and Ken this morning. How many loads is this?
This is a second. We got 1, maybe 2 more.
How are you today, Barry? Good boy. I tell it Baron every day he's beautiful. 'Cause he is. but so isn't Kenny. Kenny, it's a good boy. You are too, Skip.
Good morning, everybody. Today we're headed out to get a little bit more firewood, and on the end of that last clip we were spread manure and our audio kind of went out on us, so we had a bunch more I was talking about, and then the audio died, so you never got to hear it. And so there was just a couple things I really wanted to tell you. So this morning as we're heading out, as you can see, we got snow on the ground. It's a cold morning, but anyways, that's okay. Today we have Baron and Ken, and the reason I have these two together is I want to get, I've been using Baron a little bit more so with Ken, and that's because when I'm logging with Baron all the time, he gets a little bit more aggressive than I really want him to be. So by putting him with Ken, and Ken is really slow and easygoing, it helps him to calm down and walk more at a calm pace. When he's working with Bill, he tends to get a little more excitable, and of course he's pulling heavy loads in the woods, so that makes him want to get excited and get the adrenaline flowing, and he does pull really good in that process. But because of that, he comes home to the farm and he still has that mentality of wanting to go fast. And he's always been a horse that has kind of gone fast anyways, you know, because he just likes to trot once in a while, or quite a lot of the time. And so I am having a little difficulty getting him to walk really good. But I'm sure over time he's going to be fine. So we'll go get a couple loads of firewood, just like we did before in one of our other videos. And William is with me, and he will be doing the driving while I'm loading. So let's get loaded up, and then he can head back. Okay, we are loaded with our second load. Good load. I kept it a lot longer than the other loads I've been doing. Kind of more prongy, more limbs are still on it, but it's a funny looking load maybe, but there's still quite a lot on here. So we'll see about getting this down through the muddy field and out to the farm. Okay, I'm going to drive them a little bit. So William it's getting cold sitting here holding the horses while I'm loading up, so he said he'd just soon walk home, and I figured I'd better drive him anyways. He said it went through the mud kind of hard in the field, so we'll see how it goes this time. I've got some of these end pieces kind of close to me in the car also, so I'm glad I'm doing the driving instead of William, but I'm sure this shouldn't be a problem. I can see the tracks ahead where it's kind of crooked and sunk in the mud there. I'll have to stay up a little bit higher. But the mud is kind of deep through here. Ho! 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 Well, they came to a point where they had to stop and come up close and show where the mud is. With them tires in that mud, it pulls really, really hard. But they actually did really well coming through there. But ho, 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 ho. A little bit, ha, a little bit. No, ho, ho, ho. I cap stop. Oh, they're pulling really well, but we've got another more of a mud hole right ahead of us, so I decided to stop and give another breather before we go through that next mud hole. And I'm glad this is the last load we got coming out of there for today. There is still one more load in there down at that further burn pile, but we'll get that another day. Snow this time of year just makes everything so much wetter than rain. Okay, so we'll try and get them through this next hole. Right, cap stop. Oh, I've shown this before. Our eveners are adjustable, so we can put more of the load on a certain horse. Well, right now they are even, so they're both in the same hole on each side. And big old Ken, he's like about 300 pounds heavier than Baron. And Baron is really holding his own. He was actually kind of setting poor old Ken right back. But it is a hard pull. There's no doubt about it. I cap stop. Oh, okay guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. We shall see you next time. Have a great day.